Good morning. This is the day the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. I'm Pastor Mary Ann Kellenbach, pastor at Living Faith Church, which is located in the community of tradition in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And today is Wednesday, January the 20th. If you live here in where I live in the United States, then you know that today is a day that comes about, well, the day comes about every year, but the celebration of an inauguration of a new president happens every 4 years. And I don't even want to say new president, a president. So it could be the same president that had served the previous 4 years. And so on this day, for those who live in the United States, we recognize that there is a transition of power today because we are having a new president, the 46th president of the United States, that will occupy what we call the office of the president, because it is just that. It's not a person, it is an office, and there is an occupant that will fill that particular position, that office, for a term of anywhere from 4 years, if re-elected or elected again, 8 years. And so that's what we as a nation, those living in the United States like I am, we celebrate that today, this democracy, that we are able to move forward in a smooth, peaceful transition from one person occupying the office to another. And we pray for safety today as this smooth transition occurs, as we do every 4 years. So I have a couple of quotes because we are focusing on the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this entire week. I want to repeat one of the quotes that I used on Monday, and then also share a new quote that has touched my heart. So the quote that I used on Monday, which comes from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s book, Where Do We Go From Here? He says, in the days ahead, we must not consider it unpatriotic to raise certain basic questions about our national character. And I think that is just so fitting for us today, where we can say it's not unpatriotic to raise questions. What you're doing and what we're doing is questioning. Because here's what he says, which I happen to agree with, and most Christians, or I should say all Christians, should be agreeing with. An individual has not started living until he or she can rise above the narrow confines of his or her individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. I mean, this really is what Jesus, what Christ, what God, our Creator, is all about. We are community together. We are social human beings. We don't focus on our own individualistic needs. We are called to focus on the health and welfare of the entire community. And that's exactly what Jesus was about. Yes, Jesus comes to us for our sake, but not just for our sake, for the sake of the entire community, for the sake of the entire world. And that's what we have to remember. We can get very caught up and forget. We can easily forget the greater picture of what our God is all about, that all thrive. So I just wanted to read for you what a quote that I had picked up, and it is, this is what real advocacy looks like. Recognizing that our individualistic concerns are valid, but also shared. Remembering that our greatest strength is in numbers and diversity, sharing desires and unique perspectives. This is what Christ was all about. Communal living, community, inviting all into service for each other, not just ourselves. On this day, as I read this quote to you again, I want you to remember who Christ is, God incarnate, who came for the sake of all of us. Hear this quote again. An individual has not started living until he or she can rise above the narrow confines of his or her individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. That is our calling as Christians. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow.